Good afternoon. Come on, good afternoon. Bill, it's going to be a rowdy crowd. I can tell this already. This is going to be a great afternoon. I must also say good morning and good evening. I'm looking at the lens of a video camera. Hello, everybody. This event is being live streamed, webcast, which means all around the world, to the many friends, family, faculty, alumni who cannot be physically with us today. most of them for understandable, if not appropriate and good reasons today. But so to our TV audience joining us at this time, I'm Ira Schwartz. I'm an Associate Dean of Medical Education and Student Affairs at Emory. And it is my privilege on behalf of my colleagues, the many faculty and staff, many whom our students know and many of whom have not been met yet, on behalf of everybody at Emory, I am glad to welcome you to Emory University, which actually is mostly behind those trees. I'm welcoming you to Emory School of Medicine, which actually is behind those trees. And for those of you here, and again on behalf of my colleagues, we welcome all of our guests and visitors to Atlanta, Georgia. We are in Atlanta, Georgia today, an interesting place to be on this, what has turned out to be, how do I say it, mild fall day in the Deep South. I will tell you that up until a few hours ago, it was unclear whether we would be gathering here. The Weather Channel runs weather in Atlanta. I'm not doing a commercial, but their headquarters are here. And my colleagues, Mona Ingram, June Eddingfield, and Dr. Bill Ely, know important people at the Weather Channel. They put in the fix early this morning and look at the gifts of the day we've been given. So thank you, my powerful colleagues. You notice that's the faculty who clapped first, right? Wherever you are, whether you're in our TV audience or you're physically with us today, it is my privilege to welcome you to this, the White Coat Ceremony for the Emory School of Medicine class of 2025. Welcome. Indeed. A few brief announcements and some words of explanation before I introduce my colleague, Dr. Ely. First, we anticipate that this event will take between 1 to 1.5 hours. Actually, we have no idea. We've never done it this way before. But for those of you visitors way back in the bleachers, hi, thanks for being here. Just stick around and we'll let you know when this is finished, okay? Until a few weeks ago, given the extent of our local epidemic, which has been, like every place in North America and most places in the world, very serious, dare I say devastating. Because of that and our obligation to pay attention to public health regulations, we were not at all confident that this event would happen independent of the weather. We are very grateful that our university has offered us this recreation field so that we may gather not only ourselves in the Emory family, but visitors who have come from near and far in a safer, a relatively safe manner for this happy event. This is, as you may have figured out, graduate student housing. We are surrounded by graduate dormitories, and we're the entertainment for them today, by the way. We have limited facilities for you because of this. There are water stations set up on the side for all your hydration needs, which makes me want to remind you that the bathrooms are in that building that you passed over there. And especially for you visitors out there, if your attention wanders over the next little while, the pool, it's open, but not to you, okay? Keep your clothes on. The pool's closed to visitors today. It's a wonderful pool. This is a place where Olympic athletes have trained. If you feel like swimming, Come back next summer. Also, disappointingly, we are not able to offer you refreshments at this event this year. After this event, we suggest you safely stroll through our beautiful campus. It's that way. We ask you to please follow university guidelines. Our leadership in our student health service has been assiduous in helping all of us of different stages and ages pay attention to public health guidelines. If you walk through campus, please note the many signs about how we should behave with each other for safety. Many of the buildings are open, although I found out just a little while ago that the medical school building is closed. Medical students have key cards that will open the door. Other buildings on campus, if they are open and you wish to go in, please wear a mask. For visitors who are able, after the white coat ceremony, a safe and very healthy activity might be to, or this could happen tomorrow, stroll through Lullwater, which is those trees. That is Lullwater. It is a 157-acre nature preserve that is part of and on the Emory campus. It is a stand of virgin forest, unique to this part of North America, filled with old growth trees, local flora. Oh, this may end quicker than I thought. A wide variety of animal life, including deer, a lake, stream, walking trails, running trails. We forced our first-year students to discover it the first week of medical school. It is a place, true, it is a place that many of us, young and much less young, go frequently for respite, for reflection and recreation. It is open to all, a wonderful place to discover. And now, it is my privilege to introduce my very good friend and long-term colleague, Dr. Bill Ely. Bill, you can clap for him in a second. Okay, clap, right. See, they're going to clap for you, Bill. You haven't said anything yet. This is good. They know Bill. Dr. Ely is, his title is Executive Associate Dean of Medical Education and Student Affairs, a long title which simply means he's the guy who's ultimately responsible for the education of our medical students and other people in the health sciences at our School of Medicine. Bill Ely is uniquely qualified for this job. He is a local guy. He grew up not too far away from this neighborhood, Emory College, for his undergraduate years, where he excelled both academically as well as being an All-American athlete. He was persuaded to stay here for medical school, and after that, deciding what path he would take. It took him a while, like it will take you. He stayed for a fellowship in medical oncology and hematology, and somewhere along the line, he picked up a master's of public health. Bill, I've never said this publicly, Bill, but Bill is actually the co-author of a textbook on medical epidemiology. You remember there was a time in America where nobody knew what the hell epidemiology was, much less how to spell it. Bill is currently a specialist in the care of people with breast cancer. An award this university can offer. He is respected by his peers. He is admired by his students, and he is very much beloved by his patients and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Bill Ely, thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. It is afternoon now. It is a beautiful day. And I'd like to say that what Dr. Schwartz said about epidemiology was actually true. My mother went to her grave not knowing exactly what I did. She understood doctor, but when I started to tell her I was an epidemiologist, it never went very far. But bless you, Mom. Wish you were here. And thank you again for your kind words, Dr. Schwartz. It is a beautiful, if not in the words of Winnie the Pooh, a blustery day. And I'm thinking if we do have a moment, as in Mary Poppins, the next big airport is Augusta. If you do lift off and get carried up, I just go for the big runways. Welcome to all of you, friends, family, guests, alumni, society advisors, our wonderful staff who are spread out, our Emory police, EMTs. We are in a small city here this afternoon for this white coat ceremony. I'd like to give a special welcome to members of our alumni board, Dr. John Stallman and Dr. Ralph Haynes, who are seated to my right. Thank you for being here. I would also like to give a real welcome to Ms. Teresa Rivera, who's a member of our Board of Trustees and is here for one of her family members. So welcome very much, Teresa. I would like to begin by taking a few moments to remember those family members and loved ones, members of our community who could not join us today. We do have a limit of 4 guests per family, and that's a limitation we felt we needed to do to have this safely. But there are other family members who are not well. There are other family members who we have lost over these last 20 months. The loss and separation from loved ones has affected us all. So if we could, I would like to take just a moment of silence to remember those who are not with us, please. Thank you very much. All right, you all, I want you to know we are overjoyed to be together today. I can't tell you how happy this makes. I know our students, our faculty, and our staff to be here with you to celebrate this ceremonial first step with the members of the class of 2025 as you are really at the beginning of your path to becoming superb, compassionate physicians. I'm going to spend the next few minutes, and the class will understand this, orienting you, friends, and family to your loved one's entrance into medical school. I will divide my comments into 3 sections. The first will provide you with an overview of the class of 2025, and let me just start by saying it's an amazing group. The second will provide you with an update of the students' academic experience over these last couple of months. And the third will provide family, loved ones, and friends with challenges that the students are and will face as medical students and physicians, and how we as a community can help them going forward. This past July, Dr. Schwartz borrowed a clinical motif, orientation, to introduce our newest students to Emory Medical School. I will use the same motif today to provide our guests with an introduction to the class. But class, not to confuse you, I'm going to change the order to time, place, and person. So time on Earth. How long have these students been on Earth? Well, it turns out from 21 to 29 years, although someone could have had a 30th birthday since we saw you last, or counted that last, and 85% of them have spent at least a year between their undergraduate degrees in medical school. That's amazing. A lot of experience by these students before they came to medical school. Let's talk about place for a minute. 12 of the class are citizens of another country. 28 were born in another country. And I would ask, if you were born in another country or a citizen of another country, please stand so that we can celebrate that part of our diversity. Thank you very much, and thanks for being here with us. I do have one concern about the admissions process, Dr. Schwartz. We don't have one student in the class who came from a continent or country that begins with the letter A. We don't have one student from Antarctica. Next year, please. We do cover the rest of the world, though, from Brazil to Zimbabwe. And again, something we're very proud of. I'm now going to go through the geography of the United States, and I'm going to call out a region, and I want students to stand who are from that part of the United States. Now, if you're a person who was born outside of the United States or a citizen of another country and you have a state you call home, you can rise again. You can stand up in as many categories as you want to. So let's start with the Southeast, and I'm going to define that as Florida to Louisiana to Kentucky and Virginia. If you think about the map, all of you, this is a challenge, class. All of this from that part of the country, please stand up. Thank you, and please be seated. Next, we're going to go to the Northeast, and this is Maryland/Delaware to Maine, including Pennsylvania. So all those from that Northeast corridor, please stand up. Thank you very much. Welcome. Next, we're going to move a little bit out west beyond the Southeast, and I'd like people from the the state of Texas to stand up, and I know enough about Texas. My daughter has lived there. I'm not including anybody else but Texans on this one. Would all the people from Texas please stand up? I think there are 5 of you. Come on. Thank you very much. Next, I'd like residents of the West Coast and the Aloha State to stand. California, Oregon, Washington, and Hawaii. Thank you. Now would students of the Mountain Time Zone stand? I hope you remember what time zone you were in. Thank you very much. And finally, you from the heart of the country, and remember the heart is the key to everything. We've saved you for last, from Minnesota to Oklahoma and Kansas to Ohio. Would all of those from the middle of the United States please stand? Thank you. Now, our students attended college. Here we go. Hold on to your hat. Our students attended colleges all over the United States and the world, if you include their study abroad experiences. We have students from local schools, Emory, Georgia Tech, Spelman, Morehouse, Georgia State, University of Georgia. We have students from big state schools, Florida, UNC, Michigan, UVA, Minnesota, Colorado, Maryland, from Ivy League schools, and from a slew of other wonderful academic institutions, small and large, in the United States of America. Even more important than that, and even more varied, are their college majors. And the reason they're more varied is that 23% of our students thought that one major was not enough. It speaks to their strong academic standing. In fields from biology and neuroscience to English, ecology, exercise, film, Hispanic studies, international affairs, Jewish studies, music, African American studies, and these two I love together, philosophy and material science engineering. What a conjunction of degrees. And one last, veterinary science, and I'm hoping that person really wanted to go to medical school. You know, they're here with us, they probably can teach us a lot. And person. I'd like to do something now we don't do inside, but I'd like for all of our students to stand up, turn around, and try to find your parents out there or someone you love. And I want people just to take a look at you as you stand and turn and face them, please. And while they're still standing, I want you to know that 101 of these students are women. 40 are men. We like you guys, we really do. And over one half of this class describes themselves ethnically as other than non-Hispanic white, which means we have a class of minorities who are all together to make the world a better place. Congratulations. All right, you all may sit back down. So that was sort of person by the numbers. But I'd like to tell you that the most important attributes of our newest class cannot be described in numbers. These attributes are essential to becoming healers and include things like experience, intent, kindness, compassion, diligence, integrity, and many other personal attributes that they bring to bear in medical school. Our students bring experience from families of all descriptions. Those families represent the broadest swath of America and indeed the world. Families, cultures, and occupations that are all unique to each person. Our students have put hearts and souls into volunteer work, lab work, and academic work. And I describe them as the most altruistic group of people ever assembled. Their only commonality, they are all individuals, other than the day they started medical school was the same day, is that we believe every one of them has the desire and the ability to provide extraordinary care to other human beings. You all, thank you for being here again. For Section 2, what have they been up to? They began with a week-long orientation that included person, place, and time, and then a talk on why. Why are we here? We welcome the students to Atlanta, a vibrant city, but also a city ranked #1 in the United States for income disparity. A city where over 50% of families in multiple zip codes live in poverty, defined as an income less than $17,000 a year for a family of 4. We expressed our intentional desire to educate physicians who will serve our entire community, Emory, Atlanta, Georgia, and the world. As preparation to face the suffering that we will take on, we offered the students 4 specific healthy primers, one on compassion, walking meditation, nutrition, and yoga. These activities stress from the very beginning the importance of attending to mind, body, and spirit as they embarked on their, and this is a big word, transformation to a physician healer. The Alumni Association presented each student with a new stethoscope before they embarked on their Week on the Wards, a symbolic passing of the baton from the Alumni Association. We discussed that Week on the Wards would be the last time they would view the world as a layperson. The week presented an opportunity for them to become excited about their new role, become aware of their knowledge deficit, and to serve as an anchor, reminding them why they and we are here. They've completed the better part of the first portion of the foundation phase of their curriculum, the so-called Healthy Human. It has included Prologue 1, an introduction to the social determinants of health and disease, human development, embryology, tissues and cells, neurofunction, integrated human physiology, with a fun run in there in low water, by the way, and most recently, nutrition and metabolism. Congratulations, class. Yes. And just to let you know, we began with the Healthy Human as a deliberate attempt on our part to emphasize the goal of remaining healthy for us and for our patients. During these first modules, they have also begun to expand their listening skills to take a history. We have begun their instruction in the age-old methods of observing, feeling, poking, and prodding the human body. They have already been asked to digest a couple of thousand PowerPoint slides filled with foot-long words, Greek, Latin, and numbers. But they've continued to volunteer, joined interest groups, played soccer and basketball, hiked, and as recently as last night, learned salsa on the front grass of the medical school. It was fun. I watched. For those of you who think you've not had enough communication from your loved ones over these first months, please remember they're spending an increasing amount of time with their books, their lecture notes, and their classmates. The only thing I can tell you was the time commitment will increase over the next 50 years. I'm sorry to say that. But it just gets more and more in depth as we go along. There are additional challenges for our students. One is the normal curve. So all these students excelled at the normal curve. So much that if we were drawing the normal curve of grades in the undergrad, they would all be packed over in this 5% on the right side of the curve. They are that smart. There is nothing normal about any of them. They're really bright and really committed. Unfortunately, in medical school, when they see the median score of their test, half of them are going to be in the bottom half of that for the first time in their lives. That doesn't mean they're anything other than superb students. And I ask us to guard against the adverse consequences of the tyranny of comparisons to normal. Let's not do that. Instead of comparing ourselves to others, let's always ask two questions. One, am I maintaining a healthy body, mind, and spirit? And two, why am I in medical school? I want everybody here to hear that the reason we are here in medical school is to serve others. And that will inspire us. I want to bring something up. As they put on their white coats today, and I remember putting on my white coat, I have a picture in my mind. I can't find the picture, but I remember it. And I was sort of preening in my white coat. We didn't have a ceremony. But when I look back at that picture, when I see it in my mind's eye, I was afraid. I had no idea what was coming. And it was a reasonable feeling. I want to emphasize that the fear and trepidation that accompanies the transformation to the physician, the weight, the physical and emotional and spiritual weight that any good-hearted person feels when they put on this white coat to go try to help someone should not be underestimated. And all of this in the era of COVID-19, a disease that has brought the entire world to its knees through illness, separation from loved ones, and literally from denying us human touch. The good news is that the deans, 3,000 or so faculty members, and staff all stand ready to help, support, and literally walk with you as you become physicians. We will likely caution you to slow down rather than speed up. We will not allow you to go faster than you should. And we will be there for you when you stumble. We all stumble. My sincerest hope is that your patients will become a compelling, joyful force in your lives. Their stories and kindness to you, extraordinary gifts as you lead a life dedicated to service, learning, and research. Simultaneously, with the support of your classmates, family, and friends, you're going to learn to successfully care for yourself and your family members and your teachers as you become humane, competent physicians. Dr. Schwartz, could you come forward now with Dr. Bond? We have a little display. We didn't have a Jumbotron today because it was excessively expensive, I will just say that. And usually we'd be showing slides, but we have something I really want to show you because we've done it for every class over the last 25 years, and I don't want you to miss it. So we had Kinko's do some magic for us. This is a graph which was created 20-something years ago about the life of an Emory medical student. As you can tell, there's a little bit of a slump during those first months. I can tell you that slump's been frame shifted to the left a little because we don't start anatomy right away. We start it in December. But I want to emphasize that while it is a difficult beginning, and you're just getting started with that, look how happy you get to be at the end. And it is great joy. Thank you all. Now, there's a follow-up graph. And this is more of what it might feel like during your first few weeks, months of medical school. My two Vanna Whites. So any doctors in the house will recognize this as ventricular tachycardia. And it's a rhythm that if with a low blood pressure, you'd receive DC cardioversion or shocking for this. Instead, for the audience, I think they need a dose of understanding and love. Thank you. You better take those off the stage, or they may blow away. And finally, what can our students, loved ones, and teachers do to nurture each other through this process? Today, we are coming together to pause and reflect as a class and a community on your entry into the noble profession of medicine. As I've told the class in the past, the best physicians take time to pause and reflect. I ask the loved ones here to help us by reminding our students that slowing down and reflection are a necessary, in fact, a critical part of being a healthy human and physician. We have, with deliberate intent, involved our students' loved ones in this day, and thankfully have been able to do so. Let us be ever mindful of the essential roles of our families, loved ones, and colleagues in our lives. The relationships represented here on this field are vital to the support of all humans, but especially important for caregivers. Family and friends, your ongoing care and understanding is the greatest gift our students will ever receive. Just one more point. We all need to be reminded there are basic human needs that need to be attended to. Habits, sleep, exercise, a healthy diet, human-to-human interactions, creative endeavors. I grant every loved one, every other in the room, to gently nag the students in the class of 2025, if necessary, with great kindness. Remember those good habits. As the students put on their white coats today, symbolically they assume the mantle of a professional. I would also like us collectively on this ground to offer the white coat as a cloak of love and support. We are overjoyed that you, our wonderful, diverse, kind, and talented class of 2025, have chosen to become physicians at Emory University, and that all of you have joined us on this important day in their lives. Thank you. All right, a couple of commercials. Every year at this white coat ceremony, after our students don their coats and walk off the stage, they are usually handed a book. This year, the students received the book in advance, and this is a very special book. On Doctoring is an anthology of prose and poetry that has been written by or about doctors and the practice of medicine. Its first editor was our Dean of Admissions and one of Emory's greatest physicians, Dr. John Stone. An excerpt from Dr. John Stone's poem, Gaudiamus Igitur, is included in your program. And I would like to say, if you want to know what it really is like to be a physician, read Gaudiamus Igitur. To me, it's the best expression ever about what it means to be a physician. John was a cardiologist, a parent of emergency medicine, a poet, a teacher, a mentor, and a friend to all medical students. This book was generously donated by Dr. Jordan Messler, an internist who trained in internal medicine at Emory and Grady, and like so many of us, found great inspiration in Dr. Stone's friendship, poetry, and prose. Dr. Messler and the faculty hope you find meaning and sustenance in the writings found in this volume. The cornerstone of the Emory curriculum is sitting to my right. The cornerstone is that medical students learn the practice of medicine from experienced and skilled clinicians. For each class, 16 such physicians are honored to serve in one of 4 societies as small group advisors. These faculty meet regularly with small groups of students, and they assume great responsibility for the professional development of their students. The small group advisors are already playing a critical role in teaching a variety of skills to our first-year students, shaping professional attitudes, and helping our students understand the clinical application of the science of medicine. These faculty advisors, and rightfully so, will be on stage today to help the students don their white coats. One more aside. This class has exceptionally beautiful, challenging names. And I ask for your understanding, indeed I ask for your forgiveness as I try my very best to pronounce your names as best I can. We will begin with the Harvey Society, and I invite the Harvey Society small group advisors to join me on the stage while the students line up. Yeah, don't forget your white coat. It's key to the next part of the program. Did you see somebody left their coat? Somebody left their coat. She went running back. What now?
We're putting the white coats on there, right?
Yeah, get your clothes. Pull on the white coat.
I guess the camera is there, so we should make sure that they.
We're ready.
We gotta go.
Here, we do it here. This is exactly what the camera. See it. Somebody else goes a little farther. Let's make this. I think so. I just want like if you do it here in the camera, this is.
Mary Kay, let's go.
So I said we plug them right.
Like step up and do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they come this way. So that's easy.
Emilio Thomas Ariano. Come on. Zachary Bernstein. Husfa Beauty. Robert Blakes. Katja Bobrek. Nita Chai. Myra Chow. Paris Che. Jipo Mutsa Chisango. Emily Chu. Natalie Connell. Sarah Jean Coolidge. Max Cornelli. Julia Ding. Janvi Dubashi. Onyi Eza. Julian Heinke. Anna Horner. Lauren Daphne Jenkins. Patrick Anderson Jones. Prachi Nilesh Kambati. Spencer Michael Lee Ray. Katrina Arcelia Munoz. Brandy Indirangu. Jenny Nguyen. Babajida Owoshela. Esther Oriende. Izari Pataktong. Ashvini Veja. Lorraine Vitek. Jennifer Wong. Megan Kate Wasson. Reese Wheaton Williams. Meg Wanada. Elena Wong Serrano. Give me just a second. We're not going to blow these all over the yard. Right. Go ahead. Come up here. We could have the Lister Society small group advisors please come forth. You all ready? Yeah. Oh, I'm not. Isabella Amanera. Sarah K. Blaine. Amy Marie Bowling. Morgan Nadine Veronica Buchanan. Mary Catherine Camacho. Caitlin Cole. Michael Doherty. Margot de Oninda. Joseph Lee Felder. Robert Fu. Shreya Ganguly. Ross Stephen Greenberg. Sarah Faye Gruber. Brian Pearson Hall. Ben Heron. Anne Elizabeth Heisey. Anissa Iqbal. Kinto Kawai. Alexis Francis Mack. J.J. Myers. Munichizo Adugo Ekabalama. Anna Claire Abena Afriye Ose Akoto. Laurianne Pinto. Cynthia Ramazani. Sarah Ann Reuter. Natalie Eve Relo. Mariana Christine Sanchez Medina. Samantha Schaefer. Samantha Steigerwald. Catherine Stecklack. Ali Samori Ture. Ariella Svoni. Sonia Vijay Varghia. Sam Weeks. Sonia Williams. Yes, we're done. Would the faculty from the Osler Society please come to the stage, please? The following students are all members of the Osler Society. Lily Achimpomo Piacera. Seth Edward Amos. Rebecca Anderson. Nahum Arifina. Stephanie Ann Ahrens. Akila Brown. Kashavia Buckley. Caroline Gloria Chivilli. Thank you, Claire. Claire Collins. Casey Garland Crockett. Sydney Doman. Victoria Christine Fonzie. Babatunde J. Giwa Otusajo. Kevin Yunho Ha. Raining Huo. Brittany Jean-Louis. Turkan Banu Karatash. Samir Rahan Kawaja. Ka-in Kim. Valentina Larave.
I'm here.
Good.
I made it.
Elena Lawrence. Wei Xuan Li. Allison Ann Martin. Caleb McDonald. Maureen McNamara. Austin Vashon Montgomery. Elizabeth Danielle Moss. Micaiah Rose Newtonen. Priyasha Parikh. Hisu Park. Vivek Prasad. Ujjwal Savani. Hayden Michael Smith. Nikhil Thomas Vetikatu. You all are done. Thank you. And would the Semmelweis small group advisors please come forward? And our Semmelweis students are lined up. What could you have? What did I do with it? That's the question. Right there. McKenna Elizabeth Ash. Eunice Retajesu Awarunte. Morgan Lee Beatty. Barbara Chumwa Baini. Jake Boyce. Shay Emily Chambers. Shreya Chodisetti. Austin Keith Collins. Frances Grace Ginger. Cassidy Elise Golden. Joshua Green. Samuel Heary. Roxana Ava Hojati. Nora Jackmay. Jada Lynn Keith. Kalina Tenorio Luna Machado. Anna Maurer. Robert Garrison McCrae. Maeve Summer McNamara. Nell Merman Bunnell. Mustafa Ihab Misali. Tuzo Wavita Warumba. Angela Dean Nunabel. Grace Wynn. Mopenen Ujesu Oyeyinka. Tayani Nicole Pete. Charles Lewis Humphrey Pruitt. Jason Ramos. Aubrey Selena Reed. Anne Frances Sadler. Nithya Soundra Shamogan. Alexis Stokes. Shannon Sue. Ariana Traub. Charitha Vera Panani. Maya Wickhart. We made it. We made it. Well done. How about a standing round of applause from all those present? Dr. Schwartz.
Well, for those of you in the back, I'm looking at a sea of white coats. And I think Bill used the verb, there's some preening going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, these coats will never be this clean again, I can promise you. The ceremony is nearly over. Actually, I haven't looked at the clock. More than an hour. Before we end, I hope you'll indulge me in letting me say a few final comments. And these comments are really specifically to you, our future colleagues, class of 2025, new M1s in your first white coats. The rest of you in the back, you can listen if you want, but I'm really talking to the folks who are looking so good here. When we first met in real life, not in Zoom land, you remember we first met. I think Dr. Ely referred to it. It was a warm and not at all windy morning in July 19th. It was warm. We had a steamy summer here for those of you who were new to this part of North America. By the way, that was only 12 weeks ago. And I don't know how it feels for you. It was either a lifetime or it was like this. But ladies and gentlemen, by my count, you have approximately 174 weeks to go before any of you will be eligible to graduate from this medical school. So I think as Dr. Ely said, slow down. You can't make it go any faster. During that first week, as Bill reminded you, we asked you to reorient yourself. Person, place, and time. Bill, that was very good, using motif of orientation. And one of the things that we did is we very transparently tried to tell you, if you could listen or take it all in, of how we thought each of you got here, which is to say, in this remarkable group of people, what your admissions committee, and dare I say your very hardworking admissions committee, some of whom are small group advisors and know what I'm saying, what they were looking for in each one of you. as the verb isn't sift, as we carefully thought about the many people who applied. Dr. Ely didn't mention this to your families, but last year we had over 14,700 applications to this School of Medicine. And you are the people who kind of got distilled out. But the admissions committee, we are a diverse group of people too. We are looking for specific attributes in our applicants. And by the way, our small group advisors say that we did okay this year. Evidence of community service, academic achievement, of course, but it turns out not to be the most important. One of the most important personality characteristics that the admissions committee members look for in applicants is curiosity, intellectual curiosity. Curiosity about the world, curiosity about science, your profession, other people, your family, curiosity about yourself. By the way, I would say curiosity is tough to teach. People, by the time they get to their teenage years, either have it or they don't. It's the reason why most of you, and I'll say this knowing some of your families may be listening, why most of you, when you were kids, you were really irritating. You were the irritating kid, always asking questions. Why is the sky blue? How come this doesn't work this way? Curiosity. Curiosity turns out to be a trait that will stand you in good stead, that will keep you professionally competent long after you leave this formal medical education. It's what Dr. Churchward, Dr. Schulman, Dr. Brownfield, Dr. Lekowitz, Dr. Ely, and I talk about your need to be lifelong learners, long after all the tests are finished. So my curious colleagues, I am sure that you have been sitting here and many of you have already formulated a question that you're thinking about, that you want to find the answer to, even as you're enjoying now the sun is out. And that question is simply, why white coats? What's up with these white coats, right? What are we making such a big deal about these white coats? We have asked you to take an entire day away from your serious studies. You have invited visitors to come from near and sometimes very far. Many of the people who are joining us today are here at some inconvenience, for many at considerable expense. And I would say for the first time, people are here to join you having had to weigh some personal hazard in their travel. And we admire and thank all of our visitors for making that journey. But they are joining you in celebrating what is, after all, a flimsy cotton garment, or in your case, a cotton polyester blend. After all, you have said to yourself, you know this, doctors did not always wear white coats. You have all been in the lobby of the Woodruff Health Sciences Administration Building, WSCAB. You have seen that 66-foot-long mosaic, 3 stories tall, celebrating several dozen doctors from history, dare I say prehistory. You have walked around the marble statues that are in that lobby. And even if you've never taken a class in art history, you've thought of images of doctors from the past, and you know that we did not always wear white coats. For example, old Dr. Hippocrates did not wear a white coat. In a minute, Dr. Ely will come back and lead us all in the words of Dr. Hippocrates and his followers. They lived 2,400 years ago on the island of Kos in the Aegean. It's an island off the coast of modern-day Turkey. And we remember him and his followers for bringing science, empiricism, observation to the practice of human medicine, and codifying ethics that still resonate in our contemporary society, in our profession, and what we hope you hear, understand, and incorporate in your professional lives. Hippocrates and his followers, we think, wore white garments, but they didn't wear white coats. And let me be clear, there are no toga parties in Emory School of Medicine. If you were to cast your eye over the images of the past several thousand years, many centuries will pass before you see physicians wearing this sort of white coat. In fact, it was only in the last few decades of the 19th century when we see images of doctors wearing white coats. So what happened? What happened then? It was both in the West and in the East. What changed that doctors within a few decades all over the world started wearing white coats? Well, what happened was the advent of science. The sciences that, in fact, you are studying today: biochemistry, microbiology, not anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, the sciences that still are learned today. And it was at the last few decades of the 19th century, coming into the 20th century, when the general public began to pay attention to the scientists and what discoveries were being published, and how we doctors were incorporating scientific discoveries into changing our clinical care. The scientists were very much admired, and so what we did over about 30 or 40 years as a profession is we stole their white coats, and we made the scientific garment our own. And we did that as we clinicians were applying the scientific method and the sciences that were being discovered then to patient care, improving patient outcomes, and wearing a white coat, owning the scientific process. The profession changed. The way we dress changed. And I want to suggest to you here today that we are still changing, and that it is up to you to continue to change. Physicians are obligated to change, given the new knowledge and the changing needs of the community we serve, and we don't have to go to the novel coronavirus to figure out how in less than 2 years the world of medicine has dramatically changed, thanks to scientific discoveries that has changed clinical care. I want to suggest that all of us here wearing white coats, we are agents of change. I would remind you, speaking of change, that we are now living in a city, in a state, that not very long ago, the law of the land was racial segregation. I want to remind you that we are now citizens of a university, and I would describe it as a great university, that not very long ago would not have permitted many of us to study here or be employed here. As physicians and student doctors, we own that history, and we must continue to recognize the inequalities in our community, academic and larger. It was in my lifetime that this School of Medicine changed, when a courageous man by the name of Hamilton Holmes approached Emory School of Medicine and demanded to be admitted. Hamilton Holmes was the first African-American man to graduate from Emory School of Medicine. It was only in 1967. Dr. Holmes would become an orthopedic surgeon. He would become chair of orthopedics at Grady Hospital. He would become a clinical dean at our medical school, and tragically, he died prematurely at age 54 of heart disease. So change happens, and doctors can make change happen. And as Dr. Ely so, can I say, eloquently demonstrated, thanks to you, look at you, the class of 2025. And as he pointed out, and you pointed out to our visitors, Look at gender, race, ethnicity, religion, culture, citizenship. Yeah, the word we use is diversity, but it's who you are, class of 2025. You are living examples of how change happens. Doctors do make change happen, and we may quibble with how fast that happens, but make no mistake, you are agents of change. So as you sit here, finally in the sun, what should this white coat you are now wearing, and proud to wear, and scared to wear, what should this represent? Scientific authority. Scientific authority, it is the historic symbol of our garment. It should represent safety, trust, safety not for you, but for your patient. It should represent honesty. We tell the truth to each other, and we tell the truth to patients and families. Make no mistake, wearing this coat confers great power to the person who wears it. Power not for you, but to do good for others. But before we end, we'll end in a moment. It would be wrong if my colleagues and I did not say out loud that there are people who wear these white coats not for good, but for nefarious purposes. Doctors throughout history and even these days wear these white coats to practice quackery. There are so-called doctors who promote unproven or dangerous treatments to vulnerable people in the guise of modern medicine. That is misusing their power and misusing these white coats. These coats can be barriers to identification and empathy for our patient, because it's scary. It can be used for arrogant means to use our egotism. And I want to say today that these white coats should have nothing to do with partisan politics. And I stand before you recognizing that in a few weeks, as Bill said, the world will recognize the second anniversary of this global pandemic, where millions of people have lost their lives. And it was only then 2 years ago when no one would have heard a pediatrician talking about vaccinating children and misconstrued that as a political statement. This is a time of change in the world, and ladies and gentlemen, whether you want it or not, it is a time of change in your lives. So I ask you, on behalf of your faculty, who will you become? How will you wear these white coats? How will you comport yourself? Whether these coats are on your back or in your closet, it doesn't matter. Will you honor the traditions of compassion, honesty, scientific knowledge, care, and humility for the rest of your life, starting this year? For the rest of your life, you will be asked to make decisions about your patients and yourselves. We hope you choose well. Class of 2025, congratulations to you all. I thank you for your attention. I ask Dr. Ely to come back for the oath of Hippocrates. Thank you.
All right, if you look in your program, on the back we should have the oath, a modified oath of Hippocrates. It's been changed since they actually first composed it years ago. What I'd like to do now, though, is have all physicians in the audience please rise, and if all the students will rise, and we will say the oath of Hippocrates together. If you have it, please read with us. We're just going to read together. Please look, but we won't do pause and repeat. I just want us to do this together. So if you can follow with me. As the ancient Greeks swore by their pagan gods, so do I solemnly affirm that as a student in medicine at Emory University, according to my ability and judgment, I will keep this oath and stipulation. I will consider dear to me those who have taught me this art, and will impart the precepts and instruction of the profession to all those who qualify as students of the art and agree to the standards of the profession. I will follow that system of regimen which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients, and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. Into whatever house I enter, I will go into it for the benefit of the sick, and will abstain from every voluntary act of mischief and corruption. Whatever in connection with my professional practice or not in connection with it, I see or hear in the lives of men and women which ought not to be spoken of abroad, I will not divulge, as reckoning that all such should be kept secret. While I continue to keep this oath inviolate, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of the art, respected by all people in all times. But should I trespass and violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. Thank you, and you may be seated. Just a couple of words before we send the class off for their class picture. I would like time to thank a few people. We've got, I think, 3 deans over here, Dr. Churchward, Dr. Brownfield, Dr. Bond, if you would mind standing. If you look around, we've had about 25 of our staff members from OMESA and from the admissions office who have come today on their Saturday to make sure this has been a great event. I want to thank them all very much. If you all would wave back there, please raise your hands. I know you're still here. Please say thank you to the EMTs and our police officers who might be coming. No, I'm kidding. As you leave, and there's one more person we really need to thank, and that is Mona Ingram. Mona, where are you? Mona is our event planner for the School of Medicine. This has taken a lot of work, and it was worth every second of it. I think we were all so excited to be here with you today. So with that, students, you're going to now retreat to the back where we're going to get your picture taken, and we're going to let families and loved ones stay in their seats as the students go back for a class picture. We've already got the photographer set up. So if the back row can start first and go out, everybody just follow the rows. Thank you. And to the rest of you, good health to all, travel safely, and congratulations to the class of 2025. Well done.
Thank you.